Hello. I'm very pleased to have the chance to talk with my guest today, Nyunt Ho, a member of the Talking Heads Club in Bloomington, Minnesota. And Nyunt reached out to me recently at the encouragement of the Division C director, Troy Ducart, for which I'm very grateful. As always, I look forward to hearing more about her journey in Toastmaster and new developments in Talking Heads. But also, she brings an interesting story about her experience with a TED Talk. She is the first person I've ever met that has actually done a TED Talk, in addition to being a published author. And so there's just so much territory to cover, but it's a fascinating story, and maybe we can hear a little bit about her journey today. So welcome, Nyunt. Thank you to Coffee with Chuck this morning. So happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, great. I always like to start off these interviews with a little bit of background. I wonder if you could just start by sharing about your Toastmaster journey. How long have you been in Toastmasters, and what drew you to Toastmasters?
I started joining the Toastmaster Club in 2012. My original reason is I like to improve on presentation skills. So I have a chat with my manager, and then there is a Toastmaster club we had on site. There's a corporate club in Seagate in Normandale. So I just tried to attend one of the open house. That's how I started at Toastmaster. Since then, I am in the Toastmaster and taking all different officer roles, and then involved in not only the club level, area level, and then try to involve and try to learn.
So Talking Heads has been your home club for all of your Toastmaster experience so far?
Yes, correct.
Okay. When I first heard about Talking Heads, I was wondering where that name came from, but then it made sense when you said it was a corporate club at your company that makes hard drives. So
yeah,
hard
drive, we call it Heads.
It's a great name for a Toastmaster club. How would you describe your club? Tell me a little bit about Talking Heads.
Talking Heads, we started since 2000, earlier 2000. And then starting as a, very small group of, individual interested in, improving their public speaking. And then now the club has grown. Some point we as member as much as like over 30 members. But as of today, because of this environment, we had 24 club members, and we met on every Wednesday. And just standard format, we are meeting, prepare speech, working on your parts, and second part of the meeting with the table topic. And once in a while, table topic part, we have a kind of small debates for like 2 to 3 minute debate. Those kind of, creative way to be.
Those are fun, right?
Yeah. So we are very active club.
As I mentioned in the introduction to you, you had this really unique experience of doing a TED Talks, a TED Talk in February of last year, and it's certainly available to see on YouTube. It's in your native language, but the other day when we talked, it seemed like there was a lot of commonalities, a lot of things that maybe you learned from Toastmasters about that experience that I would really like to hear about. And you shared that the preparation period was around 6 months from the time that you applied. Can you tell us a little bit about the preparation time?
Sure. The time they approve or select the people who to speak at the event, it is in the end of August, early September. So as soon as you get approved, first they have all get together for the 3-minute speech. You will share your, about your speech summary, and that 3-minute speech, and then they will look at it and they sort it out, and they will be arranged for the event. Some people, they go through the 3 minutes, presentation or 3 minutes short speech, and some people they cannot make it through it. maybe various reason. I don't really know what is the reason, but after that, I get the official invitation letter to be speak the tech stage. But there is at the same time invitation letter come with all the rules, and also there is a schedule for the practice schedule, rehearsal schedule, and at the same time they will give you the draft. Your first draft is due in October, so we are just starting in the September. We just get a lot of information. Not only that, they are advanced, so they have to prepare for the marketing point of it. So we have to provide in September all these bios and official picture for marketing, and those kind of things are happening. But by the end of September and October, the first draft have to be ready with the time, whatever you decide.
Right.
But
were you assigned then to a coach or several coaches?
After we get the first draft, and then assigned to the curator. That one curator will be working with me to polish my speech and draft and all these, the whole package. So that person helped work together with me. I submit the draft to that person. Her name is Melinda Tron. I just submitted to her, and then she read it through. She gave me feedback, and she will some suggestion, okay, let's look at the contents or those kind of things. So back and forth happen. Yeah.
So then you would record your talk and send it to her. She would review it, give you feedback, and then.
No, first writing only. That's a speech draft only, not the recording. Okay. The recording one is the time you submit the idea to the this event. Very first thing, you submit your idea with the 2 minutes recording together.
Okay, but at some point when you have your draft, it's been approved, then do you work with the coach or the?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And then after that, they have a 3 schedule practice. This is kind of optional, but everybody participated. That time, or not the recording, like a Zoom meeting. For me, because I'm living here, but in Myanmar, people living in Myanmar, they all get together on one of the office, and then they practice.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and the curator, more than one, about 3-4 curator gonna be in the same room, and everybody in the same room, and they just go through one by one. You give your speech. That's a kind of practice, like a Toastmaster meeting. You give speech like that, and they give you feedback and working on it. Yeah. That is a 3 times you do it every other week. Keep practicing. After practicing, there is a schedule for the rehearsal. There is a rehearsal. I believe this is a couple of times we have a rehearsal, but right before the event, 1 week before the event, there is 4 dress rehearsal. And that time, expect to be finish your draft, finish your adjustment, you are ready to go.
Okay.
If some people, they're not ready that time, they will not be on stage. That is on the guideline. So you had to be ready by then.
Oh, I see. So, with a regular Toastmaster meeting, obviously we always have our evaluations, but with the TED Talks, you were getting this feedback along the way.
Yes.
Were there just maybe a couple pointers that you learned that really helped you hone your speech at the end? What sort of things were they pointing out to you?
To me, first, the key is your speech draft. You have to have a good, strong contact and information. That's the first thing I work with them for mostly. On stage present, they have a Toastmaster, we always learn to use the stage, use the space. Mm-hmm. But over there, TED Talk, you can see there is a very red carpets for the speaker to stand up and stay. So you have to stay in the one spot instead of move around. those kind of thing is kind of like, because of the reason is the camera cannot go around. So they gonna be suggest you to don't move so much or don't walk around the stage. And other than that, the speaking point of it, Toastmaster, I learned the public speaking skills. All these are useful.
Well, that's interesting. So there was a lot of carryover from what you've learned in Toastmasters to delivering this one.
Yes,
That's
right.
that's really interesting. Your use of your speaking area. In this case, you were limited in the where you could move, but I assume you could
Yes.
move a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right.
Yeah. For me, I had to step couple step left, couple step right, couple step up, because I get used to talk, using the whole stage to be engaging people.
Sure.
So that is a little bit, I had to remember myself, and then, moving with purpose, but you can't move too far. Just stay in the camera, because they have like 5 cameras or something. They all said that they can go in after, where you go. So I think it just depends on the event. Maybe in Myanmar event is they might have a limited cameras. Other event may be different. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it sounds like a very choreographed speech that you give, right? You have to be very conscious of where you're moving and how much you're moving and so forth.
Yes.
Well, great. Thank you for sharing that about your preparation period. Let's kind of return to talking heads at this point. You shared a little bit about membership being impacted a little bit because of the current environment. But what's going, in your view, what's going particularly well this year with your club?
Going well. Of course, we have many challenges. Signing up the roles or having the prepared speech speakers for every week. But we all become very creative.
Okay.
That is I think our strength to keep moving. We became creative, and then we try to connect with the other club to have a more interesting, energizing environment. Because our own club attendance is quite low, and then we don't have a speaker, so so we have a sister club, you can call it, actually CK Club from the Colorado Longmont. So CK Club. So we just talk to each other, and then they invite us to attend their meeting. We invite them to attend our meeting, and then later we do one joint meeting together. It was very, fun, and then to see 2 club meeting together.
That's interesting. My home club as well is a corporate club, and we certainly have other clubs within our organization, but I don't think we've ever done a joint meeting like that. That's a fascinating idea.
Yes, we done it last year too. Even though before pandemic, we did joint meeting with our CK Shakopee Club. Shakopee has a club too, so we just invited. So we try to do a joint meeting. It is fun to be, everybody enjoy it. So,
right.
So we try at least once or twice a year.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. So this year obviously has been challenging. I know, speaking for myself, I went into this year with a lot of trepidation. We're shifting from in-person to online for every week, and you wonder how the membership building is going to go and how we're going to publicize our club and all that. But at this point in the year, has there been any new learnings for you, or things that you said, wow, this has actually worked out really well. This is like a new best practice for us. Anything that really comes to mind?
One thing I find that really, really good is because of the online, we open up to the whole different chapter of inviting outside of your location. So currently we have a member, because we are close corporate club, so we accept only CK employee. So we have attendance from the Netherlands. CK employee, we have a CK office in the Netherlands, sales office. So he attend our meeting, and then he's our member. So kind of like open that, and time to time we invite the Seagate other location. We have attendance from the California. We have attendance from all different locations. So it is open up to the different kind of engagement. And then I find it a lot of people interesting. People are keep coming and attending. Some people, they love to be a member of our club. So not only this location, this environment is open to different kind of chapter. And I think that is a good thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's fascinating. I've heard that same story from other clubs as well, that the traditional boundaries that clubs had have really been expanded. And I've heard of clubs that like yours that now have folks from overseas joining them. Yeah, I imagine it must be difficult. They have to log on at a strange hour of the day, but they make it work.
Yes.
That's great.
Kind of like we all log on strange time and strange day in this environment. So yeah.
Well, you and I would like to finish our talk today by, as I always do, sort of addressing people that are thinking about Toastmasters. You know, they're considering Toastmasters, but they're not sure. Do you have a message for people that might be interested in Toastmasters?
Yes. My message was based on my experience. Usually we have an impression that joining the Toastmaster, we're gonna be improving our public speaking skills, leadership skills. To me, it's go beyond that. It is open up to the unlimited possibility, because mainly, how to say, confident. That's the key behind how everything happened. So I would say confidence is a thing. I find it. I found myself that I have a confidence to express my voice. Mm-hmm. I found my voice. I start not only writing speeches myself, and then I start writing my own essay and sharing with others. And that's how I become I write more and people read and I become writers. Mm-hmm. So I would say Toastmaster has opened up many doors if you like to take the challenges and if you're interested. Well, that's my message.
You know, that's a great message to everyone, that Toastmaster opened doors for us. I like that.
Thank you.
Well, Nyunt, thank you once again for your time this morning. I just really enjoyed our conversation. I wish we could have had more time to delve into your Toastmasters experience, but you shared a lot today, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for having me.